All right, welcome everybody to something we like to call the Coach's Corner. It's a brand new show that we're thinking about doing. Every 2 weeks, the coaches of Forge Esports are going to sit down and tell you what's what. So I guess I'll start off. My name is Righteous. I actually, as part of the content, I'm actually a coach for Forge Vanguard, which is a platinum team here at Forge Esports, and I'm excited to kind of lead this discussion with my fellow coaches. Shane, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Sure. I'm Shane, aka the Madman. I'm the head coach for Forge Esports Mjolnir. I'm not part of the content side, but I guess I am now.
Yeah,
So, yeah, here we are.
and then
And
Atele.
I'm Atelephobia. I'm the head coach for Forge Atlantis. I'm a jungle main and looking forward to go through the patch notes.
Awesome. So obviously we're not professionals, but I think all of us have peaked Emerald or higher. So a lot of this is going to be, not from the professional level, but just things and trends we think might pop up as the patch plays out. So
I'm
we're gonna
some
go just
plebs.
top from bottom and see what's what. So we're gonna start off here with Aatrox. They're trying to give us Aatrox some love because apparently nobody outside of EU junglers is playing him. So they're putting a whole 5 damage into his sweet spot. Uh, do you think this sways Aatrox into S tier, gentlemen?
I think it's gonna get more junglers to play him, to be honest.
I mean, no, this is completely irrelevant.
Yeah, I
Clear
mean,
speed buff though.
it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, you got more clear
Yes.
speed, and then in top lane you can maybe kill the minions. Like if you're in mid lane and you're level 9, you cast your ability, and then the minions are left at like 1 HP. The casters, well, maybe that'll help that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a placebo buff to remind people Aatrox exists because we're seeing more tanks locked in with last patch, right?
yeah.
Obviously Aatrox can excel into them, and so I don't think they want to go overboard. But this is like, hey, tanks are coming, back into the meta. A lot of Ornn being picked. Like, give Aatrox a shot. But I don't think this really makes him overpowered
The other
in the
part is I think
slightest.
Aatrox is pretty good into some ranged tops. Not Vayne, but like
Mm-hmm.
Varus, for
Gnar.
example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
exactly.
immobile range taps.
Mhm.
Awesome.
God, I hate Aatrox though. I hope they just revert this 5 damage. I don't even want him to have 5 damage.
You want to have a
I
less, go to
hate
65 instead of 75?
yeah. Let's put
Gotcha.
it up 67 damage
There you go.
instead of 75.
I see what you did
Yeah.
there. All right. We move on. Gwen next up. So, once again, they feel like Gwen's been out of the meta for a while, lost a lot of power with the minor weir to Dusting Dawn. So, they're going to give her power back in the early game without skewing her too much in the early game. So, base damage per snip is basically going up a half level at level 2, and then you start to see it a little bit more levels 3, 4, and 5, all the way up to a whole 2 more damage max level Q. But what caught my eyes, the skip and slash buff. She's actually getting a nice
Mhm.
bonus attack speed steroid from level 2 onward. Obviously, it caps out at that same 80%. But through levels 2, 3, and 4, I think that might actually be noticeable, especially that level 2 spike. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, it looks like a massive buff levels 1 to 9. And then
Mm-hmm.
after it's a bit less value, but it's still a really good buff to help Gwen be a much stronger laner, I think. And clear faster, of course. That's what I'm gonna think about.
What about you, Shane?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a top laner, so I agree that the clear speed is definitely going to be faster level 1 because of the E bonus attack speed, but Gwen's level 1 has always been like kind of threatening with the E start with lethal tempo. You can do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cheesy stuff with that. This is going to be a huge buff to that early game. So it's going to make Gwen's early game a little bit better in top lane, and then I mean, it's bonus per snip, and she does what, like 4 snips? So I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the Aatrox buff a little bit, where it like
Yeah, I
it
guess I
gives
guess you could
you.
multiply it by 4 to get the max damage per combo, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is that? Just like 8 more damage or something? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
for the most part. But I do want to, because you are a top laner, is there a world that at level 4 it might be more worth it to put that extra point in E, get that 42.5 attack speed bonus, and look for an AUG
Uh,
potential there?
I mean, it depends on who you're laning
Well,
against, but
obviously.
Gwen's W gives you resistances as well. So,
No, level 4. So you get all 3 of the.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nah, I don't
You don't
really
think so?
think it's gonna be. No, I don't really think it's gonna be like that huge of a jump. You'd probably rather just still be maxing your Q. Don't put an extra point in E level 4.
Okay.
I can't really
The
see a
way I
world
see it
where. Go
Gotcha.
ahead.
is it used to be a 15% attack speed buff. Now it's only a 7.5% attack speed buff. So I think if anything, it puts even more priority on your Q now.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I was just curious. I could see a world where, you're into an immobile tank like an Ornn or something, and you just want to get as much extra damage as possible. Maybe those autos make a difference, but maybe not. I'm just trying to
Yeah, that
figure it
E
out.
buff is crazy good. That's a really good buff.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, we move on to Hui. So
No way.
26.08 changed how his abilities slows stack and interact with other slows, and had a larger negative impact than they expected. So this is kind of a compensation buff for that. They're also putting some more even power spread between his Q and his E. So I took a little bit. This is about as far as I got on the patch notes before having to do other things in my day. Um, the Q damage is getting buffed only on AP ratios only. So it goes from 70% to 80% AP. That's the only change. I don't think it's going to be a huge change, especially in the early levels when you don't have that much AP anyways. But the QW damage is pretty interesting. So they're keeping the same base damage totals for both, high health targets and low health targets. That doesn't change, but they're increasing the late game QW damage all the way up to 105% AP scaling, which to me seems like a lot. But what say you?
I feel like I am gonna have to apologize to Loops because I know he doesn't like Hui, but we are first pick blinding it
Okay,
every time it's open.
leaking strats, interesting. But yeah, I definitely feel like if you pair this way with some sort of like guaranteed CC, so like a Pantheon jungle or like a Maokai jungle or something, that QW damage could do really good work.
Mm.
Uh, which ability is the QW?
It's the
Like,
one that comes down kind
describe
of
it.
like a Xerath W, where it
Oh,
comes down from range and it does more damage based off of percent missing health.
okay. Dang, yeah, I hate that ability. Um, I think this is pretty good. I mean, obviously, this is a really good buff. I mean, this is like insane.
hmm
But I mean, the times to use it, I just don't think. I mean, it's not going to be like a game-changing buff. It's not like we're
Yeah,
buffing his ultimate here. Um, so I think it's just going to help him finish off some of these kills. Let's hope he just can't like one-shot people now. That would really stink. But
yeah. Late game Hui with like a Rabadons. I mean, that
yeah.
seems
But I mean, the thing is like, I don't think Hui is like the best late game champ in the universe. So I
true.
think these are definitely some nice buffs that can justify him like going longer. And like as a control mage with great wave clear, I think that kind of leaves up a great opportunity to help him scale.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
feel like because of the nature of the QW, you definitely need to have a comp around it that can make it manageable to
Yeah,
hit, right? Because there is that
yeah.
cast time for it to land, and so something that can enable it. I feel like these buffs are going to be felt. Um, but outside of that specific scenario, how many times are you landing QW a game? For me, not many because I don't play a bunch of way, but uh, maybe for the Hui one chicks out there. I do. We did skip a couple things with Hui as well. So the QE slow is getting a 5% bonus That's the grabber. Um, so
And what Hui's do
that's
a
nice.
lot is they
Mhm.
chain their QW with their R hit. So if you think
Oh, the
of
R
it like
slow.
that,
See, R
yeah.
slow comes through, and then you QW it. Yeah, that's true. That is true
So that's a lot of damage, I think.
for sure.
Looks like we're gonna have to get out of the way of that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last thing to make notice of is the E is getting a basically a 1 second buff
Right.
from levels 2, 3, and onwards. So
Sure, I mean, whatever. That's his main defensive spell, so it's kind of like,
yeah,
why
self
not?
peel or
For a
whatever.
mobile mage,
Hmm.
it's pretty all right.
Okay, we move on to Jax. So might be something to take note of here, Shane. Jax might be making an appearance back in the top lane. The mana cost from Q is actually getting slashed by 15, which is a pretty noticeable buff in the early levels.
Yeah.
And then the E counter strike damage is getting a 4% minimum buff, up from 3.5%, and then 8% maximum damage buff, 1% from its original 7%. So Shane, I want to ask you first. Obviously, me and Atele are well aware of Jack's jungle, but I feel like this is a Jack's laning buff, especially with that Q mana cost.
Yeah. I mean, as you guys know, I mean, a lot of the ways that Riot prevents oppressive laners to get into top lane is through their mana. So having this mana buff is going to be huge for Jax. This E buff is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really know how much it's going to really do, honestly, but the I think I mean he's just been really struggling going into a lot of matchups recently. So I think they just want to give him some love. Uh, but yeah, the mana definitely a big thing. I mean, when I play Jax, I mean, this is just usually how you go. You hit level 6, you get 2 autos, you just wait for the laner to walk up to you, and then you just beat the. Can I curse?
I mean, sure, go for it.
Yeah, you just beat the fuck out of him. Like it's just crazy. So I hate laning against Jax, and um, if he snowballs, it becomes impossible. And so I think this is a great buff for him. I think he's been succeeding pretty well in the jungle, but he could probably stand to lose some mana top to get some more aggressive trading going on. And if you Q twice in a fight, that's going to be super helpful. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything crazy, but I think it's definitely good, definitely good for him.
For sure. Yeah, I think for Atele and I, it's not really much of a buff for that Q since we're setting a jungle and mana regenerating like crazy anyways. But the E,
Yeah,
I think it's just like a placebo buff. Obviously,
I agree.
the target max health damage because there's a lot more healthy junglers coming through. Stuff like Skarner, Sejuani with the tank buffs, Mundo's coming back. It'll help them a little bit in those trades with champions like that. Anything else to add, Ateli?
I mean, I honestly think even right now, like you only pick Jax in the jungle in 2 matchups, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like doesn't help him with those. It's
Yeah.
just a good answer to some AD bruisers, and that's it. So I don't see a big deal.
Sorry about that. I got a Discord call in the middle of it. I'll have to cut that out. Anyways, we move on. Lee
all
Sin.
right.
So this is Ateli's avenue. Lee Sin getting a
Mhm.
little bit of a nerf. So basically they're taking some AD growth away, and then taking some damage out of the Q1 and the Q2. 5 damage across the board for Lee Sin, as well as that 5% bonus AD. And then for the Q2, once again 5 damage as well, and that 5% bonus AD.
I do think like I don't really ever feel like buffs and nerfs to like I mean buffs a bit, but like nerfs to really high skill expression champions really matter that much. Because realistically, what's gonna happen is either you have the hands for Lee Sin and you'll dominate regardless of how weak it is, or you don't have the hands for Lee Sin and you're kind of trolling when you pick it regardless. So like, I'm not really bothered by it, and I don't think it will pose.
Yeah. Any major changes? Yeah, I think obviously Lee Sin's a champ that is a high mastery curve, and if you're good at Lee Sin, these changes aren't really gonna make him bad, just kind of more in tune. I think the W changes really made it so he felt like a juggernaut where you can't kill him and he's out damaging you. I think all this does is make it so that Lee Sin has to be a little bit more wary of when he's choosing to trade and go in, because the W, while it's up more often, it's not up all the time. Shane, I don't know if you're running into a bunch of Lee Sins in top lane. I know it was flavor of the month a couple of years ago, but anything else to add here?
I mean, I pretty much agree with Atele. I mean, these changes are pretty like whatever. It's a skill expression champion. He'll still do the same thing. Only thing is the AD growth. I think that's a pretty. I mean, it's a significant. I don't want to say like it's destructive, but it's a good nerf to Lee Sin. I mean, the champion has a really dominant early game.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want him to be good in the late game as well, because then he just becomes this skill expressive champion that's tempered throughout the whole game. So yeah, that would really suck if he was like doing some crazy stuff like that. But thankfully, they're nerfing the AD growth, so we don't have to have that problem.
For sure. We move on. So Nocturne has been kind of a staple pick in the pro meta for quite some time, but he's really been popping up in pretty much all elos. They said that they like how low his ultimate cooldown is for how impactful it is towards his champion. So they're taking damage out of his Q, and it scales, so you're actually losing up to 20 damage max level. All I think this does is make sure that Nocturne is considered like an early to mid game champ. You want to make sure that those first couple of ult rotations are successful and that you get something off the back end of those plays, because as the game goes on, his damage is going to matter less and less. Atele, Shane, anything to add there?
I think Nocturne is a deceptively tricky champion to get max value out of, because you really need to have really perfect ults in every sequence to close out games on him. And this change with the reduced scaling damage.
Oh, I think you cut out. We might have lost Atele while he's figuring
Can
out.
you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. All right. So as I was saying, Nocturne, it's just what's it gonna do is make it even more important to get max value out of every single time you press this ultimate button
Mm-hmm.
on Nocturne. So I think I like it. It's perfectly in line with what the champion's supposed to do.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that those ults are impactful. Otherwise, there should be some sort of appropriate punish from the enemy team. Shane, I'm sure you've been ganked by Nocturne once or twice in top lane. They're keeping the cooldown, but they're taking away some damage. Do you feel like that's going to be noticed at all in the early levels, or do you feel like he'll still be that solo Q menace?
Dude, honestly, I don't think this change like matters one bit.
Yeah.
20 damage is significant, don't get me wrong, but I mean, at the end of the day, like it's still gonna be Nocturne. He's still gonna do the same things. I think this will affect like maybe his jungle clear, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But like 20 damage is not gonna miss you out a kill in most of the times. Like if you ult on Nocturne and the laner's there ready to go with you,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably gonna kill this guy. Gosh, it's kind of annoying. They're talking about how like we like how distinct he feels to play with his relatively low ult cooldown. I hate that because it's just like up all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, especially
Oh
with
gosh, you know that stupid Alex Jones meme? This is like ancient meme, but he's like screaming in mic. He's going, "Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare." That's what
Yes.
I think every time I play against Nocturne. I'm just like, I'm gonna have nightmares, and it's gonna be constant, and it's gonna be all the time, and I hate that. So I disagree. Like I know that that's the champion's core mechanic, but like I hate paranoia personally.
Yeah,
Me
I mean,
personally.
who doesn't?
that's
Yeah.
true.
I used to permaban this champion for so long, but then I started playing so many Nocturne counters, so I'm like, why would I ban it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
the champ is hated if it's not on your team, but beloved if you have a good Nocturne. Speaking of Nocturne, its favorite pairing is also getting a nerf, but also a buff. I would consider this a kind of like a change to Oriana. So they call her League's perfect champ, and it's been around for years. Basically, since Oriana's come out in terms of competitive play, it's been a staple. Um, what they're doing is they're taking 20 HP out of her base health. They're taking 5% out of her damage increase per stack on passive. And then they're also taking some base damage out of her R, but giving her what is that? 15% AP scaling on it. Which is interesting to me. It basically makes it so her early laning is weaker in my opinion. The base health getting knocked, the passive getting knocked, and the base damage getting knocked. But come late game, I feel like these shockwaves are gonna hit harder than they have in previous patches.
I mean, how much AP do you need to go even? I can't really do the
I'm
mental
not a
math in my head, but
professional.
I think it's like 400,
Okay,
maybe.
I have no idea. We'll go with that. Sure, they
Okay.
can correct us in the comments if we're wrong. Um, I just feel like if you go
They
full
can
AP on
put the
Oriana
numbers in the calculator.
in late game, 6 item Oriana is going to hurt. But that was the case anyways, so maybe it won't be that noticeable.
Yeah, I don't really think it matters just because I am seeing this as just a straight nerf, honestly.
Okay. Which is, I mean, that's what they presented it as. I definitely feel like the laning phase is going to be harder to navigate. So maybe we see it drop off completely, at least from pro and competitive. I'm sure it'll be still be played in solo queue. I don't know, Shane. For your team, are you big Oriana believers? Do you feel like this changes your plans at all?
I mean, this champion, like they say, like perfect champion. I mean, this champion really does do it all. Like you got your shields, you got your move speed, you got your poke, you got your team fighting. I mean, having this change to her early game lane phase is so nice because this champion has the ability to be so oppressive. Um, I mean, it's kind of like, well, like I know you junglers don't understand.
Okay.
But when you go up to CS and you auto it, usually that is the time where you can avoid getting traded because the other laner will usually also be getting their creep at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with Oriana is like I just feel like she can do like everything at once. I don't really know how to describe it because I got to lane against her very often, but I feel like she's so dominant in the lane phase for a champion that I just really feel like shouldn't be. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I like this change a lot. That
Awesome.
20 health is going to be great for champions like assassins that want to get a snowball going in the early game, but can't really find the opportunity to do so against Oriana, which usually should be able to be assassinated, but
Yeah.
maybe is not able to. So really
So,
like
do
that.
you think we'll see more Akali and Yone type champions picked in response to Oriana to punish that health nerf?
Uh, that's a good question. I would say no. I don't really think that those champions fit in like you would usually have to build a comp around like an Akali or Yone. Like I don't really think that Yone and Akali can just be picked like for fun essentially against Oriana. But I think in the right setting, it could definitely be useful and beneficial for sure.
I think a pick
I
to
almost leaked another strat of Atlantis.
I think a pick to look out for though is Sylas, right? Because he's a champion that historically could struggle into Oriana, giving that extra that 20 HP difference and access to Oriana ult. If he can go even in lane and still have impact by taking that ultimate, it could be a pick that could rise in priority in terms of Oriana being blind picked. I also think stuff like, I mean, I think of Pro Meta a lot. Stuff like Azir, Rise, things that can trade into it pretty aggressively will also kind of just feel that nerf as well through their laning phase. Speaking of Rise, he's next up, also on the chopping block. So not as
Same
big of
thing.
a HP nerf. It's only Well, that's actually more. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
My math ain't mathin'. 25 HP taken away, and then the base AD also getting nerfed, which is interesting. I feel like the base health is definitely going to be felt. I don't know about the best AD, base AD. But what do you
Makes
guys
it a
think?
bit harder to get prio and the last hit in like the early levels.
Okay.
But like, yeah,
I mean, Rise
it's some.
Top is a thing. I mean, maybe the auto trading will be felt in the top lane in terms of that
It's
range matchup.
significant.
Yeah.
These are good nerfs. I like these nerfs for these champions specifically.
Oh, wow.
And again, like if there is a comp that can be built around an aggressive assassin mid,
Mm-hmm.
and enemy team has Rise, I think it might be felt.
All right.
He's leaking strats.
He's leaking strats.
Not.
He's leaking
Nice.
strats.
I'm not. I mean,
Sylas.
we
Atlantis
already
has
know.
never played a diving mid laner. They've never played a diving mid
Yes.
laner.
That'll never happen.
No.
So Sylas, champ that I just brought up in terms of maybe being pitched in Oriana, actually getting a buff. So the Q initial damage, that pop, getting buffed at all levels by 5 at level 2, 10 at level 3, 15 at level 4, and then all the way up to 20 max level with a 5% increase in AP scaling. W is interesting. Probably the most painful point when landing into Sylas. So the base heal amount stays the same, but it's getting a 10% AP buff from that. And I don't know. I feel like the combination of Rise nerfs, Oriana nerfs, Sylas getting buffed, I feel like his job is getting kind of easier on a multitude of fronts. Add in that increased HP healing from W, and all of a sudden he's
It's
looking
juicy.
pretty healthy throughout his laning phase. Which I don't know. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this change. Shane, do you want to tackle this one first?
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised they buffed this champion, like in the first place.
Yeah.
I find this champion to be so versatile, just in general, just, because you can steal any champion's ultimate. He's mobile, he has great dueling. I mean, they're trying to say, like, oh, he doesn't scale very well, which, honestly, I can kind of see that. Like, if there's not an opportunity for Sylas to have, like, a good ultimate, he's pretty, like, I don't want to say he's useless, but he feels very underwhelming without like a powerful ult to take.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like the scaling changes. I'm really surprised they buffed the healing actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of mind blowing a little bit. I mean, this is clearly directed towards lane Sylas, so they want him to be in there. They want him to be in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
You guys seen that clip of what it's like Faker like trading against Chovy with 1 HP or something like that? He's on Sylas. You guys seen
Yeah,
that?
into the I think it was Ari or something.
Yeah, and Ari. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Man, if Faker had these buffs back then, he just would have killed him straight up.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah. So I mean, I'm really shocked they buffed the healing like that. That's like mind-boggling to me. And it's like not even like a small one. It's like 10% extra AP. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I think
crazy.
the
I mean, they're just trying to
combination
up his dueling.
yeah, I was gonna say the dueling power because the combination of that plus the Q initial damage buff, um, he's both outputting more damage and healing more damage that he's taking.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Faker,
yeah,
Oh,
I feel like they really, really want him to lock in Sylas during MSI.
okay, you think this is
they
an
need a
MSI
Sylas
buff?
skin.
Yeah.
Is there a Sylas skin or no?
Yes,
I
he
think
is
Prestige
the
T1
last
Sylas, right? No,
the
it's
last
just T1.
worlds that they won. He took a Sylas skin.
I thought he did Galio. Did he not do Galio?
No, sorry,
He did Yon and Sylas.
two worlds ago. My apologies.
Uh,
So not the ones that are
no.
coming out, but the ones that have come out.
Yeah.
He had 2 skins, Yone and Sylas.
Man, yeah. I mean, that's a
I,
great buff for sure.
yeah, I feel like obviously it doesn't touch the jungle at all,
Ooh,
but we'll see.
ooh.
We'll see if Sylas rises in priority. Shane's already oohing and on over here.
Yeah. I mean,
Syndra,
they just basically just gave Oriana's nerfs over to Syndra.
yeah. So she
Buffed her
gets,
base damage, buffed her health.
yep.
Ooh, those are nice. That's
So
really nice.
20
I'd
HP into the
rather
base
Ori be
health,
strong than Syndra.
and then yeah, 10 damage for the Qs base damage, and then a 5% AP buff. I mean, I feel
They're
like
both ball champions, Atele.
yeah.
I mean,
Says
they're
literally
basically
says
the same,
it
right?
says pass the ball, Ori. It's literally a
Yeah,
trade. Um, I feel like
both ball champions.
what's interesting about Syndra is like when her rework came out, she was pitched as this like scaling AP mage, right?
Yeah.
But she doesn't scale as good as some of these other AP mages. And
Yeah.
so she kind of just lost her identity. So I think giving her a little bit of a buff to make it so that she's not super useless in the early game will be nice because there is some playmaking power, right? Some stuns on key targets, vein spotting with the ultimate for an old league term. Sydra's a champ that I actually have quite a few games on, and when she feels good, it's kind of nice as an answer into some mobile mages as well. Um, I mean, are we just gonna see Syndra Sylas just dueling it out in mid lane from now on?
I mean, I feel like Sylas would still just beat
Yeah.
Syndra in the early game, but dude, I mean, this is kind of the same thing like with Oriana. Like Syndra has like these great trades where you can like, I don't know, it just seems like you can maneuver the trades so well on Syndra and Oriana. I really don't know how to describe it. Like I wish I knew the word I'm thinking of in my head, but is a nice buff
Well,
for
I
sure.
think
That 10 base damage is going to be
Like,
super game changing in the
yeah,
early game.
I think both of those champs they can attack you on two fronts, right? So while they're focusing on
Yeah.
CSing, they can layer that with damage with the Oriana ball or with the instant Syndra Q proc. Not instant, but pretty
yeah.
much instant. And so I think when these champions are good, they feel very oppressive because I'm trading my health for my CS, but I can't trade health back, and so we'll have to see. I tell you, you were gonna add something here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was gonna use the word multitasking for those champions where, like, they can do both things, like you said.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, dude, that's the word I'm looking for. This guy knows a thing or two. That's why he's a
that's
coach.
why he's a coach.
That's why he's a coach.
So Tristana, old champions, getting a buff. She kind of got hit hard, right, when that whole mid marksman thing was a thing, and she was just running around the map, taking towers, doing a bunch of damage. We
Yeah.
haven't really seen her since then, outside occasionally in bot lanes. The 80 growth, pretty significant in my opinion, but then the Q mana costs getting cut
Yeah.
basically in half level 1.
That's
Um,
crazy.
I feel like level 2, level 3, the all-in potential from Tristana, not only in bot lane but also in mid. It's not like she's completely dead in mid lane. Um,
They
that could be something to watch out for.
they
For sure.
basically they want Tristana in the mid lane, but they don't want Corki and Zeri, which fair enough.
Yeah,
I mean, Tristana is such a snowbally champion already. To give her that AD growth and that extra mana, that's something. Well, what's going on here? There's a few things going on here.
yeah. So if you guys haven't been paying attention to Varus, he is kind of universally hated by top laners.
Yeah.
And so
Fuck Varus.
I feel like this is gonna be a lot to go over.
Yeah. You're
Um,
not gonna read this here.
so let's take it
Sure.
line by line. So
Yeah,
obviously
scroll down a little bit.
his passive
Yeah.
is up first. So on
Okay.
non-champ kill, AD and AP, it's 10% of his total attack speed up to 11%. So he's getting an attack speed buff of 1%. I feel like that's not huge. On champ kills, it's going up to 33% from 25, and then on non-champ kills, it's going from 50 to 30. So they're removing I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna remove some of the base champ damage and instead make you play around passive. Um which is interesting.
I mean, it's between the non-champ kill attack speed and the W on hit, it makes it a bit harder for him to just dominate top lane
Mm-hmm.
because has less attack speed, he has less on hit, just deals less damage, and I guess there's more counterplay. But then they're keeping the scaling pretty much the same, arguably buffing his scaling.
Yeah,
So in the
on the
bot lane,
kills.
yeah, on hit Varus bot is gonna be a bit more relevant, I think.
Yeah,
And then obviously with the Q, they're just completely taking lethality Virus out back and shooting him in the head.
yeah. So
Yeah, these scaling changes are crazy on the queue.
yeah, I think the pain point for top lane, right, is he could get a couple of autos in you and hit you with a Q, and you take a chunk of your health. And so basically, they're kind of removing that function and instead giving it and making him like a hyperscaling attack speed champion. So I'm curious to see if in bot lane, before into stuff like um, Jinx and Zeri, the Q is nice because you could play to range and make them really feel that. Now I feel like if you're trading autos, I feel like he's kind of gonna be a worse hyperscaler. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, top Varus goes AP, so I don't actually know if these Q changes matter like a ton. Um, I mean, I think this really is just a really, like Atele said, a crazy blow to lethality Varus. Like taking away 30% of his bonus AD on a fully charged Q. That's like insane. I can't even believe they would do that because I guess they just want to make him a little less versatile than he is, which
Yeah,
is understandable.
so they said they think he's going to scale back in terms of top lane prevalence because of the experimental hexplate changes. Um, but I feel like AP Varus is right there. You don't have to go hexplate for
Yeah.
top.
I mean, AP Virus was also nerfed with the Dusk and Dawn changes.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
no
true.
static shivers there. Never mind. He's still broken as shit.
So we'll see. We'll have to keep tabs on it. I don't think what they have done. All I think is going to make it happen is him go top AP more, because bot now you don't have the advantages of going lethality and being that dominant force.
Yeah, but
And
that
then
on hit's nice.
the
Yeah.
on hit is nice, especially
Yeah.
paired with these tanks that are coming up with the last patch. But I just feel like if you're going on hit Varus and you're staring across a Jinx or a Yunara or something, eventually it doesn't really matter too much. They're going to be better at what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but they didn't touch his ult, which is that's what
True.
he really loves.
True. Xin Zhao up next. They don't like AP Xin Zhao in the mid, and so they're cutting his healing from passive. They're increasing the mana cost on W so that it's a flat 60 at all levels. And then they're increasing the mana cost for E. So like you were saying earlier, with the Jax changes, it's a nice little buff because the mana costs are getting cut. For Xin Zhao, it's the exact opposite. They think the mana nerf will be so much that he can't just spam his abilities, and so if you're gonna
Yeah.
go mid, you're probably gonna get poked out and not a lot of return trading.
Please go back in the
It's,
jungle, Zinzao. Please. I hate
oh,
laning against Zinzao.
Atele?
I mean, can you just go Presence of Mind or something?
Yeah, you totally could.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I was playing a ton of Xin Zhao, I was going Essence Reaver on him, which obviously isn't correct, but it was fun. And so, I mean, his healing is what's impressive. I feel like if you just even cut that even further in terms of like the AP scaling or remove it entirely, kind of like what they did with Corki, and just made it AD, I feel like he would just go into the jungle and everyone would be happy and merry, because there's not a lot of the only reason why AP Xin Zhao is so oppressive is because there's a bunch of AP items that Xin Zhao wants to buy.
Yeah.
And if you make them AD, he can't buy those items anymore. And then he's just back to being that bruiser AD that everyone knows and loves. But I don't know.
I love Titanic into Dusk Jinzhao though in the jungle. Please keep it, Riot. Please keep it.
I'm glad they nerfed his scaling because that champion like would heal so much in the late game.
It was
So
like he
I'm
was
just glad they
playing.
took some of that off.
It was like he was playing ARAM Mayhem with some crazy tank.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
buff
It
or
feels
something.
so crazy when he hits like level 18. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yumi,
All right.
champion
Now we're
that
talking.
everybody loves. So for those of
Yeah.
you unaware, Shane has been doing a Yumi only climb, and so this
Yep.
is for him. Actually, that's
This
what
is
they
for
wrote.
me, baby.
There's some
Boys,
secret text that said this one's for you, Shane.
been waiting for
Um,
Yumi
this.
top?
Not Yumi top,
no,
Yumi sub.
he's been playing sub.
Oh man,
Um,
Yumi top would be
so the heal
brutal.
amount is basically getting a AP scaling buff, straight
Okay.
up 5%. And the shield amount, same thing except it's 10%. Uh,
Okay.
Shane, you've been playing a lot of Yumi recently, so the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Does this make
So
Yumi over the top OP?
okay, so here's the deal with Yumi. Yumi is probably the lowest skill cap champion in the entire game. So I actually really don't like these changes because it buffs the only thing that like this is like I mean you click E, you give him a shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if they wanted to buff Yumi, they should buff her Q, baby, because that's like the more skill expressive part of her kit. Pretty much the only skill expressive part of her kit. Um, like people hate this champion for good reason. She's untargetable. She has massive healing. She buffs the hyper carry, AD carry to where they're unduelable and unkillable. So I don't know if I really like this change. I think it might be actually a little too strong.
Okay.
Um,
I I th-
and
I agree with you because she has access to the double combat summoners. I think that's
yes,
the
Mm-hmm.
main crux of it is anytime you buff Yumi, you're basically saying, hey, as long as we just don't die, as long as my ADC doesn't just walk up and kiss your support on the lips, we will outtrade you level 1.
yeah.
And that, I mean, 5% off AP and 10% off E, you're already starting E anyways. That level 1 could be very scary.
Speaking of Shane, wanna duo Zeri Yumi?
Dude, I would, but there's no dueling in my challenge right now. That's the hard part. I
I
gotta
see.
survive with the random ADCs that are in my game, so that makes it both fun and challenging. But yeah, so I
I
think
mean,
this buff is like kind of crazy,
this is good
honestly.
for your challenge though.
It's good for my challenge, though. It's great for my challenge. I'm happy about this. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is a little strong. I think that they may have may have overcooked, but we'll see how it lands. I mean, like I said, Yumi is like not very skill expressive, so it does leave opportunities for more skill expressive champions to, I guess, outplay her in lane if that's even possible. But
I
I mean,
think
we do have to keep in mind that I don't actually think it's as big as we think, just because Yumi got insanely nerfed with the Moonstone change,
yeah,
like they say. Yeah.
yeah, so maybe it's
yeah, I
just putting
mean,
power back. I think the big thing is because tank meta is rising, right? So we're seeing more Nautilus, more Rel, whatever. If Yumi's weak, she's real weak because you're basically laning 1v2 as the ADC, especially
yeah.
for Yumis that aren't Shan and are not very skill expressive. And so
Thank you, thank you.
so I think this is just helping I think in all honesty, I think this will be a low elo buff, but it is one that is worth watching.
Hmm.
Um we'll have to
I'm
see.
curious to see how that'll land.
Okay,
Oh, here we go.
we're on to the system changes. Top laner, when you're not doing your main Yumi duties,
Hmm.
Shane, they're giving you a 5% stronger max shield for a third of the time.
Hmm.
How do you feel?
I mean, this is great. I mean, like the TP shield really is crazy. Um, Imagine you're a tank top, you push up the wave, there's a dragon coming down, and you want to help your team set up vision. Well, you'll just TP down, and then you'll have this massive shield for 30 seconds, and you can literally just walk around and take all the vision, and it's pretty crazy to have it last that long. In lane, it's not really a big deal. But for these team fights, it's absolutely massive. So I like this. They're rewarding good TP timers, and they're also punishing people who aren't there in the first place to kind of help you. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? To help you get vision.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this won't have a massive impact on top lane. I don't really see like a universe where like the carried laners are gonna be like, oh, well now we gotta take TP. But there's definitely a good nerf for like tanks specifically. Because it was just pretty crazy. Like I remember TPing on like Cho'Gath in one game and I just had the most massive shield and I just slowly walked in and they could not do anything to me because it was just the shield was just that big. I love this change. This is a great change.
Atele, any other thoughts? I mean, they say it best. They want more immediate cross map action. So if you're gonna TP, you got 10 seconds to utilize this buff shield. I mean, they buffed the shield.
Yeah.
But to Shane's point, it's a lot less of, hey, TP early and walk around with me and basically be this like big wall so we can do what we want to do.
Like invincible.
I like what it does to Camille.
Okay, so just TP flank into one shot potential on somebody and no punish.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she's one of those carry top laners that will take TP basically every game.
Yeah.
Unless
True.
you're just an insane one trick.
So Shakes is definitely not locking in Camille, right?
I mean, we'll see. If he tells me, yo, I'm learning Camille, I'll put him on Camille. I think he is more than a good enough top laner to just learn a champion he wants to learn. We have been learning new champions with him, actually.
All right.
I VOD reviewed something that he hasn't played before with him today.
Hold on. Before we start thirsting, scroll back up to the bug fixes real quick.
Okay.
Those are the real patch notes.
Okay, hold on.
We got to make sure we don't miss anything with the bugs. Is it just in arena or is it in
Bug fixes and quality of
that?
life. Shane.
Okay, let's see. What the heck is helping hand buff? What is that?
That's I think this is arena.
Oh, okay.
I think. Correct me if I'm
Fix
wrong.
the bug where dying before smite upgraded at 45 seconds would keep smite at 1 charge. Okay, whatever. Fix the bug where Rift Herald will deal magic damage to turrets instead of true damage if the champion driving it had more AP than AD.
That's crazy.
Okay, big buff to Rift Herald this patch.
Huge.
Huge.
Fix the bug where abilities that don't CC but swapped to CC spells gained ability haste from Imperial Mandate's control passive.
Oh no, my Mandate Rush Elise support tech is dead.
Bug where practice tool keybinds fail to save, whatever. Fix a bug where Elisa's human form death animation was played when she died and okay, whatever. And then Nico not play the proper
huge
animation buffs when disguised as Wukong.
Yeah.
Very, very niche.
Huge Nico buff. Okay. Let's go to the skins now.
All right.
Let's talk about what we see here.
Yeah, what do we see here? So we got Prestige.
You know what I'm seeing. Go ahead and click on that picture, big dog. Enlarge that.
All right, there we go.
Enhance.
Hot or not? Atele, pass or fail. Did they nail this skin or not?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I prefer luck though.
Okay.
Shane?
So, I really like. I think it's kind of weird that like her cape is like moving around. Like
she has a lot going on. Have you seen this skin in game?
No, I haven't seen this in game.
It's very like mishmashed. It feels like they threw just a whole bunch of stuff at LeBlanc and said, "Work with it. We'll put you in a bikini and they won't matter."
I don't know. I don't like that her cape has arms now. It's kind of freaking me out. But I mean, yeah. I mean, when I first saw this skin, I was like, "Who is this?" I didn't even know who this was at first.
Yeah,
so,
that's a problem with a lot of skins.
Anything. But yeah, great looking skin. Definitely. I mean, every league champion is hot. Like, let's be real here.
True.
So, and we got good
2 for 1 here.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this lady in the bottom left. She sees some ass down there, and she's liking it. So
this guy's not.
Yeah, Brand is looking jacked. I feel like every time they come out with a skin, they either just make the champion thicker if they're a girl, or just more jacked if they're a guy.
True.
one little thing I do love about the brand skin is that he has tan lines, and I just think that's so like on par for a champion like made of fire. So
Yeah.
love the tan lines. That's great.
Um,
And then yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say this Stormcloud thing for me is weird. I get it, like he's under the umbrella, like he shouldn't have a beach skin, but he shouldn't have a beach skin. Like, I feel like you could make it kind of the opposite of Hue, right? Like less gloomy, like a cheerful Hue, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they could do
Um,
like a dark rainbow
or something
somehow.
like
I don't
that.
even know if
Yeah,
he would
yeah,
do that. Like the storm is like not thematic for him.
yeah. But I mean, these are thirst trap skins. I don't know. I miss the old pool party skins.
Are you talking about the ones where the Ari's in the towel?
No,
No, those
that's
are the
not.
spring
Yeah,
skins.
there's this. No, I just mean like Graves in a Hawaiian shirt or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Or Zach being blue and
Yeah,
going in a small tub.
with a rubber ducky or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I like them. They're good. I haven't bought a skin in like 3 or 4 years,
yeah.
so
Hey, free to
not for
play.
me. But
Should keep
if
it.
it is if it's your thing, go for it. And man, those are some meaty brand thighs. You could probably stick that thing and
Crush a
start cooking it, and
watermelon.
that would feed a whole family for like a week.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the patch notes. Obviously, there's stuff we didn't cover, like area mayhem changes, arena changes.
We don't
Hey,
care.
maybe we need to queue up some 3v3 arenas as a coaching staff. We'll
Oh,
see.
that'd be kind of fun.
That's it for me. I mean, Shane, Atele, anything you guys like to shout out before we go? Well,
um.
Shane streams. This is your
Oh
plug.
yeah. Yeah, I stream.
Iron's still not nerfed.
You said what? Ivern's not nerfed?
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Yeah, Ivern still out there being a menace. Yeah, I stream at twitch.tv/mmshane. You can watch the Yumi Challenge live. Currently, I'm going through a schedule change, so we'll probably see some schedule changes on that. So I can't give you days I stream yet, but I do have a Discord if you want to look at that. Um, Also, in week 6, Atlantis versus Mjolnir is going to happen, and Mjolnir is going to kick Atlantis in the butt. So, Telly, I just want you to be ready for that and to start preparing. You know, but other than that, that's what I got.
And
Yeah,
Atele, any
good luck
response?
panning out all our broken drafts.
There you go. They're gonna win through draft phase. Um,
Yeah, we'll see. It could be a coach diff. You never
I,
know.
yeah, we'll
It's
see.
coached. It's gonna be coached. Don't worry.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't let you guys know about Forge Esports, up and coming amateur esports organization competing in Tier 3 stuff like BOL, Ember League is where both these guys are coaching. We have a Discord. It'll probably be linked. We used to do in-houses. Maybe we'll bring them back, but we're producing a lot of content. So if you guys enjoy, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, check out Shane's Twitch channel. Keep him company in chat as he's
Yeah,
just
I'm
bored on
lonely.
Yumi, hitting these, the buffies. But that's it for us. We hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.